What council has to do is to look at their assets and determine if there is a municipal use for the property. And they had deemed that there was no municipal use. As most people are aware, the University of Waterloo pulled out. They did have a lease with us, and the building really wasn't being utilized to its fullest potential, or maybe what the intent of the building was to be utilized for. So we had been pretty much renting it out, generating a fair amount of revenue, but the municipality had to determine, do we really want to be in the business of being leasing buildings for various purposes. So council had decided that they directed staff to go out for an RFP, which we did in July, and we did receive 5 submissions, 3 offers to purchase a building and 2 offers to lease a building. Criteria was established and identified in the RFP. And all of the submissions were weighted accordingly by an evaluation committee, which was comprised of staff. So we did take a full report to General Committee in October. And at that time, General Committee directed staff to have further discussions with De Novo with respect to their proposal. That was ratified by Council on November 27th. And a motion did come out of closed session advising that we declared it surplus and that we would proceed with the offer to De Novo Trust Fund to purchase it for $3.905 million. So the building, the intent for De Novo Trust Fund is to utilize it as a rehabilitation center. So in discussions with representatives from De Novo, it is sort of like a lockdown facility. It would be a controlled access in and out. Individuals would go there for various times depending on their needs. So there might be a 12-week program where they would be there for the entire 12 weeks. They certainly would be integrated within the community, but they would always be accompanied, just to ensure that obviously the program was still staying on track and everything was in order. So they also provide services to families who are affected by various forms of addictions. And they also work with the Ministry of Health on a few issues as well, providing mental support. So they really do have quite an affiliation with the provincial agencies, with the Ministry of Health, as well as providing the services for a rehabilitation centre. So within the RFP, we did summarize the evaluation criteria. So that was established through discussions with Council. We said, what do you want to see with this building? If you had any opportunity to make it what you wanted it to be, what would you see? So what we heard loud and clear was obviously a solid economic impact to the community. We heard obviously from a fiscal perspective, it's definitely something that was of high interest to them. If we're going to sell it, we obviously want to get the most out of the building that we can. We needed to ensure that it met a number of the provisions within the strategic plan, which I can say every single proposal exceeded 5 of the objectives within the strategic plan. So we were very fortunate to have lots of great options. So that was the criteria we utilized, and that was summarized through discussions with Council. Next steps, so when we dispose of land, we have a public process that we have to go through. That will take place for roughly 2.5 week period, whereby members of the public can provide comment about the disposition, the amount, and the purpose of the building. So that will commence actually today. So if there's any comments, we'd be happy to receive them. There will be a notice in the local paper as well, just advising how you can reach out. And then after that period of comment period, I will report back to Council. And if Council still so chooses to proceed with that disposition, we pass a bylaw and we just work out the final details.